this is how today is the final trading day of the week, and the first Friday in the month of February is getting underway with us here on Frontier Opening Bell. Welcome everyone to the show, a divergent trading day for a number of Pan-African equity space after we saw a decline on major markets, developed and emerging markets around the world, including South Africa, which the way the GSE fell 22 basis points. Nigerian index, all-share index on the NGX managed to finish off in the green, nearly 1%, 85 basis points. The foreign market softened by 1/10. The Egyptian market down by 46 basis points, which of course brings the weekly trading to a close for the North African markets. Today is a Friday and the start of the weekend. The Nairobi Bourse finished 42 basis points better. What's in the news for the East African corridor, where the news this week about the Ugandan authorities inking $10 billion energy, oil and gas energy deal with Total Energy still making the headlines. Quite a few stories to cover. Kenya's PMI falls very sharply to 47.6 in the month of January from 53.7 in December. Anything below 50 is a negative reading. InsurTech startup Lamitech says it's bought Blue Wave Insurance Agency in Kenya, while the World Bank is looking at Rwanda's GDP growth at 7.2% this year and up to a further 7.9%, a notch at just below 8% for the year 2023. And Saudi Airlines have launched a direct flight to Uganda, right all the way from the kingdom in the Middle East. And Merge Exchange on the island of Seychelles says it's allowed Tibre Carbon to extend its initial public offer until the 8th of February. That will be close to sometime next week. And the AFDB board has okayed the first public-private partnership framework for the DFI. Okay, let's look into West Africa, where Nigeria yesterday, the NGX held its first webinar in the new year with a whole lot of talk around the state of the economy. Charles Robertson, who is the chief global economist and head of macro strategy, says high fertility rate in Nigeria and a few other African countries is a downside risk for the economic growth. The renowned economist says the Nigerian authorities need to check again the level of fertility because that reduces savings and cash that is available to take care of families and feed. So he says food sustainability and a whole lot are contained in countries where there's a high fertility rate. Nigeria needs to watch its population growth, which is consuming virtually entire GDP the country has produced. Of course, Charles Robertson also says Nigeria needs $90 a barrel for oil to be able to keep the 2022 budget steady, but that Nigeria will need oil prices at $400 a barrel to be able to meet the level of Botswana's GDP level, which the Southern African country achieved in 2018. In the meantime, the NGX event also showed up the CEO of NGX Limited, Temi Pokwala, who says the exchange is now looking to set up a NASDAQ type of a platform or a board to list our onboard tech companies in Nigeria in the fintech space, digital technology, and other online providers. He also said that there will be a quality test of all the companies listed on the exchange, and that starting from this year, the NGX will start delisting or removing companies whose quality does not tie with the objective and the focus of the exchange. And the shares of Owando PLC went up maximum 10% on Thursday on the news that this energy company will release its full year 2019 earnings before the end of this current quarter in 2022, after resolving problems it's had over the last 5 years with the Securities and Exchange Commission. And of course, we got news in from Reuters that 4 Nigerian energy companies, Seplat Energy, Sahara Group, Hess Oil and Gas, as well as ND Western, are bidding for Shell Petroleum's sale of some assets onshore Nigeria oil field in the Niger Delta. The deal could worth north of $4 billion. In Ghana, the revenue agency says they're moving ahead to implement the new e-levy for companies and everyone ahead of the parliament's approval. Great. What's in Southern Africa? Yes, the corporate news is coming through from the Southern African space. The PMI data also came in yesterday. It rose to 50.9 in January, up from 48.4. So South Africa is in the green with that, but still very testy when you look at the 50.9 points. Credit Suisse is exiting its operations in about 9 African countries, so he's putting his private banking business in the back pocket of Barclays Bank in South Africa. And the GSE, the South African Exchange, has suspended the bonds of the defense company Denel listed on the exchange because the state-owned enterprise is delayed reporting to the market. That's against what you call the post-listing requirements of earnings releases. Then the DRD Gold, of course, in mining, says its half-year profit may dip as much as 53% because gold prices has melted much lower than where they were in 2020 period. And Standard Chartered in Zimbabwe is starting to probe some allegations of misconduct, while Angola is planning to list more of the state-owned enterprises or companies on the country's young exchange known as Bolivar. That's the acronym for that Portuguese economy, and that is a gold and stock exchange. We're looking forward to that in the new year 2022. And finally, in North Africa, checking with Morocco, Egypt, and others. Egypt is reporting the balance of payment surplus of about $311.4 million in the first quarter of its fiscal year 2021-2022. Credit Agricole reporting for the sales on a review income in north of 17% to about 1.6 billion Egyptian pounds for the full year 2021, where Macro Group in Egypt since its private placement was overbought 1.79 times. And Morocco's unemployment has to be dealt with. It's now at 12.3% for last year, 2021. And finally, Tunisia's central bank reported that average money market rate fell to 6.1% or 6.2% roughly last month, the first month in the new year, 2022. And that's how we wrap up today's edition of Your Frontier Opening Bell. Thank you, everyone, for watching. You can watch the show again and other shows as well on our Frontier Africa Reports YouTube. Go on our website, frontierafricareports.com. The World Wide Web, you find our stories. You can see all the details of what we cover. Of course, we're also available on all the social media platforms, the LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, as well as Facebook. I'll see you next week, everyone. Have a great weekend, and bye from Lagos.